What's going on? My name is Matt, and I'm going to be going through how to send booking or inquiry notifications to Slack today. We're going to go over 3 different ways you can do it because I want to cover as many bases as possible. But the idea is that you're going to be sending notifications to Slack so you can keep visibility of your leads and potentially call them or look at when you've got a booked call coming in. So first way that we're going to go through it is through Go High Level. So if we just take a look here. I've just got an account open here. What we're going to do is we need a form, obviously, that people fill out and go through there, and we then send that information across, or if they've booked a call via a booking calendar. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into automation and we're going to create a new workflow, and we're going to start from scratch. And I'm literally just going to be doing the Slack component of this. Obviously, you do a fair bit more when it comes to your actual inquiries or your bookings, but this is just for Slack. And if you want to send information across. Now, the reason why I'm going so deep on Slack is because so many businesses use it in the agency space and in the consulting and coaching space. And a lot of coaches, fitness coaches, are starting to use it too. So I think it's actually really good to go through and understand. It becomes a nucleus of your business. So what we need to do is we need a trigger at the start here. So it can either be form submitted or survey submitted. I'm just going to choose a random form that I have in here. So form is, let's go with Matt booked a call, and we save that there. And just for argument's sake, we're going to go booked appointment too. So customer booked appointment, and we'll just put it in my calendar. So in calendar, Matt's calendar. And we save that trigger. And now this will run when those 2 actions happen. So either or, whenever each one of them go, it will start this workflow. The next step is we need the actual Slack action. So inside GHL, you can do a Slack message. It is a premium action. It means there's a small charge every time it runs. It's very, very small. You probably won't even notice it. However, it sends a notification to Slack. I'll just have to choose my Slack account here, and it will let me pick one of 3 options. So I can send a direct message to a user, send a private channel message, or a public channel message. This will always send on behalf of the user that's connected. So it'll send from me. If you want that to be a little bit different, you have to do it through Zapier, which I'm going to show you in a minute. We're going to select a private channel called YouTube Demos, and our message is going to be new lead. And we'll just space that out here. And then all I'm going to do is put the custom variable of contact name. And then I'm going to put the phone number. So contact phone number. Now, if we were to save that action and save this and test the workflow, press test. And let's just see if I've got a test one in here. Yeah, I've got heaps. So if we run this test, and then in YouTube Demos in Slack, we've got the information come through there, which is good. So that's literally all you need to do it through Go High Level. It's very simple. But moving on to Zapier and Make, it's a little bit more complicated. So we're going to take it a little bit slower, but I'm going to walk through the scenario here. So obviously you can have a type form that watches the responses in the Zapier or the Make, and then it sends the information to Slack. You could also, instead of using this send notification Slack module, you could use a custom webhook to send the information to Zapier and then send the information to Slack. So I'm going to go through probably both of those, actually. I think it would be really helpful. So what we're going to start off with in Zapier, we need a new workflow. So I'm just going to create a new Zap. And we're going to go into this workflow here in Go High Level, and we're going to select webhook. So webhook, if you don't know, it's just how information is sent on the internet, and they seem a little bit daunting, but they're actually not that bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up our action is just webhook. The method is post, and the URL is going to be given to us by Zapier when we select the trigger to be webhook. So we're going to type in webhook, and it's going to come up with Webhook Pro because it's a pro feature. The trigger event is going to be catch hook. So Go High Level is going to send the information, and then then Zapier will catch it. So we just press continue, and then we'll get this URL at the top here. So we copy that. We're then going to dump that into URL, and we are going to add 2 bits of custom data, which is name, So we're just going to send that contact variable again. And then we're going to send phone number. And we're going to do the same thing. So contact phone number. And we're going to save that action. Now, if we save this and test it, it will send this information to here. So it says it's listening, which is good. So let's test with the same contact that I used before. At Lamborn. And if we have a look here, this will run again, which is good. And also we should have a bit of information waiting for us, which it is, request A, because I just hit test trigger. And we'll have that information at the top here as well. So if we go to the very bottom, it should be here, custom data name and custom phone. So we're going to continue with that selected record. Then our next action is going to be Slack. So there is a bunch of different ways that we can send this. So our action is going to be private message. So send private message. The account is going to be just the one that I set up for this one. We're going to press continue. Now the channel is going to be called YouTube Demos 2 because it's the same one as before. Add Zapier app to channel automatically. Yes, when this needs to be on. For messages to be sent into Slack via a bot, then Zapier needs to be added to that. And what we're going to do is going to say new lead from Zapier. And then we're going to just type / and then we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom, email, and then phone. Now, what we can do here is we can get a little bit fancy with the customization. So do you want to send as a bot? Yes. So the bot is going to be called Larry, the lead bot. The bot icon, you can use a robot _face. This is the standard that I do for every Slack bot. So robot face. Include a link to this Zap, but you're going to press no because it just provides a literal URL to the Zap. I don't think it's necessary. And all we need to do is press continue and test step, and we should get another notification in the YouTube demos, which is true. You can see that Zapier has been added to the channel by Matt, and then Larry, the lead bot, sends the notification instead of me sending the notification. So this is beneficial because it looks a little bit more, legit, that it's not just like a Matt sending a new lead. And then you don't actually get confused on, who's actually sending the information. So that's one way to do it, and doing it through Zapier. Obviously, this could be literally just a Typeform notification, and it would be the same process. You would just change the custom variables to be Typeform based, which is fine. But the next one that we're going to do is we're going to use the same webhook, so from Go High Level, but we're going to use Make to set it up. So we're in Make here. I'm going to press Create New Scenario, and it's going to open up our little workflow builder here. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is go into here and type in webhook. So again, a little bit more confusing than Zapier. So I like to click into the webhooks module and actually read what they have to say. So custom mail hook, so triggers when a mail hook receives data. That's not what we're using. Custom webhook triggers when a webhook receives data. So that's what we want. And it's going to ask you to create a webhook, and I'm just going to press add here. I'm going to give it a good name. So I'm going to call it YouTube Demo Slack Message. And then I'm going to press save. And what it's going to do is going to give me this URL here. So we're going to copy address to the clipboard. We're going to go back into our GHL workflow. For ease of use, I'm just going to clone this webhook on the bottom. So copy action, copy here. I'll call this one Zapier, so it's a bit easier to understand. And then this one I will call Make. Make. Makake. All right, that'll do. And I'm going to change this Zapier webhook to a Make webhook. And we're sending the exact same information. So we save action, save, and we're going to go back into Make. See, Make is a little bit less forgiving when it comes to testing. So in Zapier, I was able just to press test webhook and then refresh on this module here, and it would bring all the information forward. However, with Make, this needs to be specifically listening for it to actually see that information. So I'm going to right click on the module. I'm going to click run this module only, and you can see it's starting to spin. That means it's listening. And if we test this webhook again, this workflow again, Matt Lamborn, info@matt.com, run test. This should pick up the information that we're looking for, which it did. So you see it went from a light color to a dark color, and then it's got the information that we have here, which is good. Now what we need to do is create another module, and what that is so we've got our trigger and then our action. So inside here, we're going to go into Slack, and we're going to send a public message. Let's just go. I think it's actually create a public message. Create a message. Sorry, private message, not public. KOA, cool. So enter, manually select from list. We want the channel type is private channel, and then we're going to type in YouTube. Oh, YouTube, hello. Is this going to let us do it? So this is what I mean, makes not as forgiving. Select from the list, private channel, and then is this going to let us populate it? See, sometimes it's just a bit weird. Let's just try this one. So enter manually. No, we want to do select from the list, private channel. Yeah, cool. So YouTube demos 2. I was just using the wrong account. And then the text that we're going to send is going to say new lead make.com. Oops. Make, and then we're going to go, we can type in / and then if I search for Matt, actually, no, it's not going to come up. Let's just go and do it the acoustic way, which is scrolling all the way down to the bottom, getting the custom data, first name and phone number. We're going to press save. And then if we click on run once, this value must not be empty. Which one? I think that's fine. And if we click on run once, as I was saying, we then go back into our test workflow and then run it one more time. And we press run test. It should pick this up pretty quickly, which it did. And we got the little 1 here that usually means that it's actually worked. And we look here, we've got new lead, and new lead make. So if you see here, this actually sent from me as well. So make lets you send as both a human or a bot. So if we click on show advanced settings, we can, I think it's in here. So yeah, cool. So icon emoji, icon URL, and username. If not specified, the default name will be used. This field only has effect when using a bot connection. So if I change this to make bot, and then icon emoji, and I go robot underscore face, save, and then run. Actually, let's just run this module. So run this module. So Matt, and then phone number. It just runs this specific module so I can test it. And we go into YouTube down here. Did it run? Where am I? It's still sent from me. Interesting. Let me just make sure I've done all this right. Link names, reply broadcast, past text, use markdown. It should actually be going from... Actually, it might need the make. Anyway, doesn't matter. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I went through majority of it. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you again soon.